So they just legalized them all from those countries and said, oh, look, now it's down because we're not calling them illegal, even though if you add that number, it's even up more. And that's what I was going to get to of what's really going on here.
Let's go on now to troops to the border. This is a big story, and Alex has a show that he will not be getting to, so we'll be getting to Mug Club and, of course, keep it on time today for the first time at madmaxworld.tv. It doesn't exist. So at the border, things are deteriorating at alarming rates.
Yeah.
But here's the issue that I want to draw your attention to. It's not, what is the truth? What is the truth? And contrast it with what you were told the truth was not too long ago. When it's the same person, and they're not saying, I changed my mind. They're trying to memory hole it. So this brings us to now, what is happening on the border. Tuesday, all the references are available at louderscrowder.com. The Biden administration, former Vice President Biden, announced that it would be sending 1,500 active duty troops to the southern border.
Land Security, Secretary Austin approved a temporary Department of Defense increase of an additional 1,500 military personnel to supplement U.S. Customs and Border Protection efforts on the U.S. southwest border. For 90 days, these 1,500 military personnel who will be sourced from the active duty
Is that the Michael J. Fox camera
will
operator
fill
again?
critical capability gaps, such as ground-based detection and monitoring, data entry, and warehouse support until CPB can address these needs through contracted support.
So really quick context, by the way. The announcement comes as Title II is set to expire. And, Gerald, that was...
Title 42, yes.
What did I say, 92?
You said 2.
Oh.
There's 40 other titles.
Yes, exactly. There's 40 before. Title 42. So take my first number, add 40 more. Title 42 is the title that allowed the government to expel migrants at the grounds of public health, right?
It was a revolving door that Donald Trump installed that threw you back into Mexico.
Right, yes, exactly.
It was
It was basically an accelerated deportation.
Yeah,
yes, exactly. It was like Elf with ponchos. Oh, no, I'm back here now. Yep. So they're saying now we're sending troops to the border. Now, regardless of where you line up as to whether that's a good idea or a bad idea, and I understand the conversation to be had, we need to secure the border, but I also understand the concern of...
But I know what's really going on.
Well, hold on. I know you do, of course. Spoiler alert, Alex knows what's really going on. This is them now, but this is back then. In 2018, the Biden administration said that the military border deployments were, quote, inappropriate, according to Kamala Harris, who also happened to be going through menopause.
I believe that it is inappropriate
What you do with Mayor
to
Willie?
require the limited resources of the United States military to be used in such a way, and all because there needed to be some demonstration for the TV cameras based on a political agenda instead of what is a national security threat.
And now 1,500 troops deployed. Again, what matters is the law ever applied consistently? Look, when you have people like Alex Jones, people like Jill, people like pretty consistent in the fact that we need to be a nation of borders. People on the left, it depends on what the voting demographic is. It depends on what and there's a lot going on, by the way, down at the border. So we will get to in a second. But first, like the show, especially if you're okay with a little bit of talk of, Jesus Christ, Lord and Savior, Alex Jones just hit me right in the feels. If you like the show, share it with your friends. But right now, because he is there, we have to go to Thomas Finnegan, our on-the-ground correspondent at the border. All right, Mr. Finnegan, if you can hear me, what are you seeing down there at the border, sir?
Hi, Stephen. I'm almost there. Give me a few seconds and I'll be on the ground to give you the scoop.
Why are you so late? Why are you getting there now, Finnegan?
I had to stop and, I had to make
You had to take a dump, didn't you? This is not the first time. You had to take a dump, Finnegan?
Yeah, if you want to put it that way.
Okay, I did put it that way. Fine. Take all the time in the world you need during this live show. That's enough. All right, that's enough. Let's... All right, Alex, I want to go to you at the end of this because I know you're going to take you know what's really going on, but I just need to report on what the news is saying is going on first. So, situation on the ground is already so bad, and not saying that you're not news and that they're news.
No,
fake news.
I agree with you.
Fake news. Let's show what fake news is saying is going on, because even fake news, CNN, is acknowledging, because sometimes your fans will be like, what are you saying? He's fake. No. I'm saying he's right, but the people you're about to watch are assholes. So CNN is even taking notice. Here they were either this morning or last night.
It's difficult to describe, Jim, with words.
Why is she wearing the Shawshank uniform?
So you can walk with me and just see the magnitude of the number of individuals who are around this church here just just streets from downtown El
common?
Paso. A lot of these individuals you'll see are males, adult males. A lot of the women with children are actually in shelters and a network of shelters throughout El Paso. As you mentioned, the city of El Paso under a state of emergency. They declared a disaster because of the influx.
El Paso,
because
on the
they
border.
know that once Title 42 lifts, that there is going to be a greater influx of migrants. But here's the thing, so process this with me. Title 42 allows immigration agents to swiftly return migrants back to Mexico. So the obvious question, as you look around, is then why are there so many migrants if the federal government is actually implementing this Title 42?
Hold on a second. She was asking a question. Let's hope she doesn't just pull a Jesse Ventura like, I'm just asking questions. Let's let the esteemed Shawshank reporter at CNN finish.
That's fair.
From talking to migrants and community leaders and officials on both sides of the border, I can tell you that thousands of migrants, nearly 40,000, are in at least 4 northern Mexican cities, and frustration is boiling over. A lot of them are deciding to cross the border. That's why you see so many out here. Some of them are turning themselves in to border authorities, Jim. Others are deciding to cross the border illegally because they've lost patience.
Jim, that's my name. This is legacy me. Just sit. Do you see that shot? He's just sitting there. I don't know. They're paying me scale. So let's go through some of the claims and the truths, and then, of course, some more commentary from Alex. So here's the claim right now from Karen Jean-Pierre, and all references are available. Karen, she says that illegal immigration is down 90%.
Said yesterday that when it comes to illegal migration, you've seen it come down by more than 90%. Where did that number come from?
I was speaking.
is telling us the number is.
I hear you. I'm about to answer.
136,000 people.
I'm about to answer you.
So
if the dramatics could come down just a little bit. If the dramatics could come down a little bit.
What's dramatic about asking a question about?
Okay, I'm going to answer. So I was speaking to the parolee program. As you know, the president put in place a parolee program to deal with certain countries on ways that we can limit illegal migration, and we have seen the data has shown us that it has gone down by more than 90%. That was what I was speaking to. We're going to go.
All right.
Come on.
That's it. First off, wouldn't you love it if you just said, "Okay, sweetheart, down with the dramatics," right? And she's clearly the one being more dramatic. This is the issue. Is what they do is, hold on, the dramatic. Okay, so that's what she claimed, down 90%. Here's the truth. There, tool man. Border crossings in March. This is the last month of data that we have. Up 26 from January lows. That's 162,000 total crossings. So,
and his point was actually very good. It was up 120 or 130,000 for the year. That's a lot of people. In
up
3 months.
26% from January. Now, let me tell you where she gets these numbers, the 90% figure. And this is the issue, right? There's lies, damn lies, and statistics. Sometimes irrelevant. But if it's coming from the White House press secretary, so I'm a child. In March, apprehensions from these specific 4 countries only we're down 95%. Venezuela, Nicaragua, Cuba, Haiti, all places of cigars except for Venezuela and Haiti, but Venezuela, lots of Miss Universe winners, so you know what? I'm a fan. This 95% decrease only exists because there was a parole program, a Venezuelan parole program, which just so happened to be extended to, guess the countries. Guess the countries, Gerald.
Nicaragua, Cuba, Haiti.
Oh, there you go. Ding, ding. So those 4 countries, it's down 95%. But that doesn't mean the overall number is up. And let me just read you a quote. This is, you can go and read the extension yourself. As extended, it allows 30,000 nationals of those countries to enter the United States per month with work. With work and then authorization on parole for a 2-year period in lieu of entering.
Wait. So they just legalized them all from those countries and said, "Oh, look, now it's down because we're not calling them illegal, even though if you add that number, it's even up more." And that's what I was going to get to of what's really going on here.
I'm sorry that I cut you. Well, so that's a good thing. We're synergistic.
Yes. No, but absolutely. I've been down to the border a bunch.
Okay, I didn't know if you were pissed off because I said
No, you're pissed off about her.
Oh, okay.
You're too nice. Seriously.
Okay, good.
Here's what's really going on. We've talked to high-level federal agents. We've talked to, I'm not going to say, let's just say people high up in the judiciary just recently about what's really going on. They are being told by Border Patrol and ICE to fake the numbers in the last 2.5 years with Biden. they're losing upwards of 80% of people because they just walk right through. The numbers are so big.
Right.
They'll have 2,000 people there in like 20 yards. So,
and that's an important fact. The numbers that we're getting are, by the way, the most conservative estimates humanly possible.
That's right. So they estimate it's about 80% get away. And here's what's really happening. When Trump sent troops to the border, that's because he was turning back about 98% of people using Title 42. When Biden puts troops on the border, that's because the Border Patrol's so overwhelmed, they can't even get the crowds processed to get them on buses and planes to fly them to blue cities. That's why the New York mayor and the Chicago mayor are complaining, is because literally there's just illegals standing around everywhere, like you saw in that clip on CNN.
Yeah.
But in Dallas, in Chicago, in Detroit, in New York, in Miami, but also in the panhandle of Florida, California, Austin, Texas. They're just everywhere.
Anywhere they can get. It's planes, trains, and El Caminos.
Exactly. So it's so the numbers we hear that are record, and she lies and says they're down 90% using a manipulation of another program. That's a shell game. Are up hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of percent. So it was Obama that said, if you're a child, you can just be let in. So then suddenly 25-year-old men with mustaches were being let in.
Yes.
Then Trump clamped it down and cut it back 90+%. Under Biden, talked to the Border Patrol, they say it's about 4 times worse than it was under Obama. They estimate that just last year, 8 million illegals came across in the Texas sector.
And by the way, a lot of people don't know this. When Barack Obama instituted or extended that, we're not talking about the Flores consent policy. That was where they couldn't be held separately. But when he said, if you're a child, you can come here, a lot of people don't know the sales of propeller hats went up 4,000%.
They did. Yes.
Yeah. So,
but let me add one more big tidbit.
Yeah.
This has all been confessed to. Remember what happened?
I'm sorry, Gerald, you're not getting a word in edgewise today.
Remember what happened? Jump in time, Gerald. Remember,
No.
Remember 3 years ago, right during the middle of the campaign, Biden said multiple times, if I am elected, immediately surge the border, asylum seekers, and we'll get you in. That's your right. So they had sometimes caravans wearing Joe Biden shirts coming in.
Yep.
And the same UN NGO that in the last 15 years ran the invasion of Europe, that guy runs the Texas sector because an NGO is above the Border Patrol. When you go there, and there's these giant tent city facilities the size of like 5 football fields, up to, tens of thousands. It's insane. You got to see it for yourself.
It really is.
Giant air conditioning trucks, just huge cafeterias. It's like an army invading, and you see the literal blue and green haired NGO people walking around through the fence, ordering the troops and ordering the Border Patrol around. So this is all run by Biden. He said, come here, it's open. So the troops aren't being sent to turn them back. He's getting rid of Title 42.
Right.
He's already by fiat gotten rid of it. That's why the CNN reporters are saying, if Title 42 is here, why would they have been sent back? Because they're not enforcing Title 42.
That's a very important
including
distinction.
on top of convicted pedophiles.
Yeah, that's an important distinction to make. A lot of people, more slaves than ever in recorded history, over 40 million, and a huge portion of them are sex slaves, although that somehow makes it better. Nope. Sex slaves, kind of worse than slavery. I mean, slavery's bad, but
sex slavery's worse.
Here's the thing: slavery's bad. I want to be careful with my words.
Very clear.
Slavery is bad.
Very bad.
I would argue it's worse when you add sex. So, just my opinion. That's me, Mr. Traditional. And actually, we're getting word right now that Thomas Finnegan has he's finally arrived at the border. Yeah. Let's see what he has for us. All right, Thomas, what's the situation now that you're at the border? Okay.
Hi, Stephen. I'm happy to report that I'm at the border. Everything is calm and peaceful, and I made good time.
No, Finnegan, that's clearly the wrong border. It's Canada,
I don't
understand.
Flip the... I printed the directions from that
Finnegan,
quest.
flip the paper around. Turn it.
Oh.
Watch Louder with Crowder live, Monday through Thursday, 10 a.m. Eastern.